Welcome to Conspiracy Y, our 8th episode. On today's episode, we'll take a look at the erection and subsequent bombing of the Georgia's Guidestone. I'll read some articles, take a look, and give my opinion at the end. Let's go. In life, good things happen and bad things happen. But a certain group of people refuse to accept the findings of what happened. This is where the conspiracy is born. I'll be your host, Arthur Wells, through this journey of knowns and unknowns, information and misinformation of some of the world's most important solved and unsolved mysteries. Welcome to Conspiracy Y. The Georgia Guidestones was a granite monument that stood in Ep.8 County, Georgia, United States. From 1980 to 2022, it was 19 feet and 3 inches tall and made from 6 granite slabs weighing a total of 237,746 pounds. The structure was sometimes referred to as an American Stonehenge. The monument's creators believed that there was going to be an upcoming social, nuclear, or economic calamity, and they wanted the monument to serve as a guide for humanity in the world, which would exist after it. It initially garnered little controversy, but it ultimately became the subject of conspiracy theories, which alleged that it was connected to Satanism. On the morning of July 6, 2022, the Guidestones were heavily damaged in a bombing and were dismantled later that day. In late July, Edmonton's Mayor Daniel Graves announced plans to rebuild the monument. In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Kristen approached the Edmonton's Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans and commissioned the structure. Kristen explained that the stones would function as a compass, a calendar, and a clock, and should be capable of withstanding catastrophic events. The man reportedly used the pseudonym as a reference to his Christian religion. Kristen said that he wanted to build a granite monument that would rival the British Neolithic monument Stonehenge. He drew inspiration from the structure after he paid a visit to it. However, he said that while it was impressive, Stonehenge had no message to communicate. In 2008, the stones were defaced with polyurethane paint and graffitis with the slogans such as "Death to the New World Order." Wired magazine called the defacement the first serious act of vandalism in the Guidestone's history. In September 2014, an employee of Edwards County Maintenance Department contacted the Federal Bureau of Investigation when the stones were vandalized with the graffiti including the phrase "I am Isis, goddess of love." After the act of vandalism, security cameras were installed on the site. Candace Taylor, a candidate in the 2022 Georgia Republican gubernatorial primary, called the Guidestone satanic. In a campaign ad, her campaign platform called for the monument to be removed. On July 6, 2022, an explosive device exploded at the site, destroying the Swahili and Hindi language slab and causing significant damage to the capstone. Nearby residents reportedly heard and felt explosives at around 4 a.m. CCTV footage recorded a vehicle leaving the scene, and the police are investigating the incident. The remaining stones were dismantled by authorities for safety reasons later that day with a backhoe, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The Ep.8 Star reported that digging showed no evidence that there was ever a time capsule located beneath the Georgia's Guidestones. The Ebert County Sheriff's Office is investigating the bombing with assistance from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. On the evening of the bombing, the GBI released a video showing both the explosion and a vehicle of interest leaving the scene shortly before. No motive have been publicly shared, and no suspects publicly identified. On July 14th, 2022, and again on July 25th, 2022, the GBI gave an update with no significant progress on the case being made since the bombing. The Guidestones were maintained by the county, and as such, were considered a public building. Thus, their destruction would carry a minimum sentence of 20 years in prison. Ep.8 Mayor Daniel Graves said the town plans to rebuild the monument exactly as it was, adding, quote, "We're just getting geared up and excited about rebuilding them. It's going to happen. It may take us 6 months to a year to do it, but we are going to do it," end quote. When commissioning the Guidestones, Kristen described them as a guide for the future generations to manage limited resources, potentially in the face of nuclear war. Yoko Ono said the inscribed messages were a steering call to rational thinking. However, the Guidestones' inscriptions have also been accused of promoting genocide. The Guidestones became a subject of interest for conspiracy theorists. Wired stated that unspecified opponents have labeled them the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist. Some conservative Christians have called the monument satanic. Right-wing activist Mark Dice demanded that the Guidestones should be smashed into 1,000,000 pieces, and then the rubble should be used for a construction project, claiming that the Guidestones are of a deep satanic origin, and that the RC Christian belongs to a Luciferian secret society related to the New World Order. At the unveiling of the monument, a local minister proclaimed that he believed the monument was for the sun worshippers, for occult worship, and for the devil worship. None of these critics provide any evidence to support their claims. Conspiracy theorist Jay Wheatner has said that the pseudonym of the man who commissioned the stones, R.C. Christian, resembles the Rose Cross Christian, the founder of the Rosicrucian order. The Guidestones were intensively featured in a 2012 episode of Mysteries at the Museum, a monumental mystery special featuring Don Wildman. Alright, let's delve right into this one. This is a relatively new conspiracy compared to the older ones. It's hard. It's tough. I don't know a lot of things about this, so I'm going to ask some questions to myself and try to answer it. Hit up the comment section and let me know what you think about it. I'm going to ask some questions and I'm going to see if I can answer them. But first, I'd like to preface by saying, if you watch Conspiracy Why, you know I believe that most things on earth that's pretty horrible and bad right now were made for good and just fell into the wrong hands. So, are the stones satanic? Okay, R.C. Christian, the fake name guy, he said it was built for future generations just in case we have some type of catastrophic event and we have to restart over as a society. We'll have the groundwork, we'll have the laying out of it. But the R.C. Christian thing and the pseudonym is just kind of weird. I'm pretty sure people can find out who he is. They just probably know and don't want to tell anyone because of who he is. Is it satanic? Honestly, I don't know. Arthur Wells, I always try to have an answer for something, but excuse me, I'm not sure if it's satanic. A lot of the different languages that are on there use certain words. It's actually built in a certain manner. So I don't know. I don't know a lot about satanic stuff. So Satanism was the word I'm looking for. I don't know a lot about that. So I can't compare and say if it is. In my opinion, I would say it's not. Now, who destroyed it and why? Like I read earlier, they said that this wasn't really a conspiracy until certain people got involved. And I'll tell you one thing. Once politics get involved in anything, it's gonna be effed up. And that's what happened to the Guidestones. As conspiracy theories started to rise more on the internet and people could react and talk to each other instead of writing letters like it's the 80s or sending telegrams like it's the early 1900s. We were able to share information and our ideas and bounce them off of each other. And that's where the Guidestones became more prevalent in the eyes of the nation and certain conspiracy theorists. So I tell you, once thing become politicized and one side is for it, the other side is automatically gonna go against it and is gonna hate it. And I think that's what happened to the Guidestones. People start saying it was satanic. People start saying it's from a satanic Christian cult. And that's where it got messed up, because you take one nut job who ruined it for a lot of people that believe in conspiracy theories, like I do sometimes. Excuse me. Let me drink a little tea. Hold on. All right. I think I'm feeling better now. My voice is a little hoarse, so excuse me. But once you get the politics into it, you're going to get a nut job that's going to go off hinge and do something like this. It makes it bad for people like us that actually believe in certain conspiracies and know that the veil isn't being pulled over our eyes. So once the politics is involved, it all goes down the shithole, to be truth about it. You had the congressman or whoever it was, Mark Dice, who said that he should smash it up. That's when it became political, because you take followers of Mark Dice and they're going to roll with him and say, yeah, let's destroy it. That's my belief, that some nut job from either side take a white right wing or left wing or middle wing, chicken wing, whatever wing you are, and then they messed it up and destroyed it. That's one of my theories. Another theory could be that it really is what some people say it is, in that the powers that be that fall on a certain wing decided to destroy it. That's my belief. That maybe it's within the government. Didn't want to really say the full thing, but I said it weirdly. Within the gov. That had something to do with it. And by that standard, we will never know. So I just want to say one thing. If you notice when it happened, using a bomb, if someone that took that bomb and went somewhere else and did it somewhere else to another building, it would be considered terrorism, and it would be considered horrible, even if that person is from America. Why didn't they make a big deal out of it? I saw it on my news. I saw it on my local news. I saw it on the major ones, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They mentioned it, and it was no more important than a regular story that just crossed their path. So to me, that's where it gets extremely weird, that no one really took a bombing in America quite too serious, which leads me to believe the powers that be that could have taken it real serious know that it was going to happen, so they just reported it like normal news and kept it moving. And I think I'm going to end it right there. So hit up that comment section and let me know what y'all think about the Guidestones, because I'm totally confused. Maybe we can have a little banter and go back and forth. It's more information that I don't know. Of course, it's information that I don't know that I would love to find out about, because even while reading this, it just seems so confusing. I don't really know. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave it right there. And remember, pick a percentage from the other side, because in fact, you might be wrong. Thanks for watching Conspiracy Why. I've been your host, Arthur Wells. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit up that comment section and let me know who you think destroyed the Georgia Guidestones. Once again, thanks for watching Conspiracy Why.